All right, so what did the mailman bring me today? Let's check it out. Okay, so I got a package in the mail today. No records. We got some CDs today. Some of these CDs have records that are accompanying them, but those are still in the pressing process, and so the CDs are here. But first, now I showed a couple videos ago on the monthly metalhead box from January how we get those little enamel pins. Now, you know, the enamel pins are neat. I don't have like a battle vest or anything that I'm going to wear them on. I did order a cork board I'm going to put back here and start displaying some of the buttons and things. Some of the little paraphernalia like that I get over the different releases. But those particular pins, there was an Overkill one and a Merciful Fate one. Now, the person who got me hooked on buying the Metalhead box is Matt over at the Accusation Network. Now, for some reason, this particular month, he's not getting the Metalhead box. So, he reached out to me and he said he really would like to get the pins and he wanted to know if I would part with them. And I'm like, sure, it's not something that I'm attached to. And he had been getting the Metalhead box for many months before me. And so he said, I have some of the previous ones that maybe you'd be interested in. And he said, I think you would probably like, and he rattled off a couple of the bands, and I thought, yeah, exactly. I think I would like those bands in my collection, pen-wise, more than the Overkill, I'm sorry, Ron, the Overkill or the Merciful Fate. I could see myself owning some Overkill. I'm not sure. I have Merciful Fate digitally. I'm not sure I'd run out and buy their vinyl. But anyway, so we made the swap. I sent his to him. He sent his to me. They came in the mail. So we've got little Anthrax guy. That's kind of cute. Keep the thing off of there. And the Exodus, Bonded by Blood Babies. All right. I actually have this album, so it makes sense to have that pin. And I do have Anthrax in my collection, so it makes sense to have that pin. So yeah, we made a little trade. So that just came in yesterday. Now today, CD wise, we got some, and these are all going to be on the Christian side of things. These came from Retroactive Records, and again, some of these, well, I'll explain. Triton, this is their newest album, just came out, Blood of Kings. Now this band, we have not heard from since 1990, so I don't know, 30-year quiet, no releases type thing. So anyway, they're back. I've had the digital tracks from this for a while, and it's great. I mean, now if you're not familiar with Triton, they've had 2 albums out, and the second album, Silent Tiger, was recently reissued on CD and vinyl. I've shown it months ago. It came out, I think, last year. Beautiful looking, beautiful sounding. I don't know if that's what spawned the idea of getting the band back together, or getting, or the singer getting back together. But Triton, if you're not familiar with them, they're compared a lot to Rush in sound, because Larry, the vocalist, has a voice that is reminiscent of Geddy Lee. It's uncanny, especially on the first album, but he really hasn't lost it. This sounds very similar. Now, the other thing great about this album is it's got the other people in the band, which it's Larry, the singer, guitar player, and they've always been a trio on the prior releases, so it's still a trio, but he's got some new faces here. And so we've got Eric Gillette, I got to get this clear, Eric Gillette on drums, and Jim Laverty on bass. Now, Jim was the bass player for Barren Cross. Barren Cross is just one of the pivotal 80s Christian metal bands in the day. You might have remembered I did an interview with the singer for Barren Cross not too long ago, Michael Drive, a month or so ago. And Eric Gillette is the amazing shredding guitar player for the Neil Morse band. But what's he doing on this album? Larry's a guitar player. Well, turns out, and I knew this already, and it makes you sick if you're somebody who only knows one instrument, Eric is an amazing drummer. Oh, guess what? He's an amazing singer. Oh, guess what? He can play keyboards too. Oh, he's one of those guys that just can do everything. And then, for those of us who can only do one thing, it's like... But anyway, he did drums on... I've seen him play drums on his solo album, and I'm just like, holy moly. he's up there with the big names in the drummer community. I mean, anyway, and he played recently the drums on Neil Morse's Jesus Christ the Exorcist. And so he passed on the guitar and jumped on the drums. Anyway, yeah, he's phenomenal. So he's on here. You know what's funny is I kind of wonder. I'm not exactly sure how old Eric is, but the Triton first couple albums probably came out before Eric was even born, or he was probably a baby. So that's just multi generational. Whereas Jim Laverde was he was around at that time. Just this is like an all star band to me. It's the amazing Larry doing his great stuff on vocals and guitar, and then you've got just two great instrumental, accompaniments with him there. So yeah, it's a great album, great stuff. We're hoping for a vinyl release. There are rumors in the underground, but it's not something that's been announced or anything that's been, everybody wants it on vinyl, but it's something that's, I guess you have to see how the CDs sell. Now they also reissued their very first Triton album. So this, I went ahead and got this. It's one of the gold disc releases. I went ahead and bought the CD mainly because, first off, it's got some bonus tracks, which I didn't have, but it's got one of the foil trading type collector's cards in here. Again, I'm probably never going to have all of these because I've missed a handful of them, but I want to go ahead and get this. They have got a new improved cover on there, which you can swap out, so they've updated the cover art. It is one of the gold discs, so it will, supposedly no chance of disc rot. It is weird how these discs are, well, you can't really tell because of the glare, but they're practically see-through. They are very, very, I don't know, more see-through than I... Maybe I'm so used to having cover art on there, but yes, so this is the first album. It has 3 bonus tracks, which it's called the Lost Tracks, and I had a lot of their demos before their first album, and I don't know these songs offhand, but I don't know what they meant by lost. I need to read the liner notes. It probably has that in there. Now, I have a copy of this that came out, I don't know, 10, 12, 15, 20 years ago. So this was one of the original issues of it on CD. And it has some bonus tracks from their earlier demos on here. And so, yeah, this is a M8 earlier day release. And so, I don't know. I may end up passing this along, or the fact that it's got different bonus tracks, I may end up keeping it. And I do have that record on vinyl. That was one of the ones I found middle part of last year in a store in great condition. So, all right. And then up next was another of the gold disc releases. Deliverance, What a Joke. Now this is coming on vinyl. This was a package that I bought just a couple weeks ago. There's like 3 records coming out and 3 CDs, and this was one of the ones. So the CD was already out. It's been out for a couple months. The vinyl is, of course, a pre-order, and so they went ahead and sent the CD, and it is another of the gold disc. It does have a couple bonus tracks, and I got it again because it has one of the cards in it. It's got card number 5, actually. So this is one of the earlier ones that I needed. So I thought I'll go ahead and get the package deal. What a Joke. And this is, if you're not familiar with Deliverance, they are like a thrash band around the same vein as a melodic version. I don't know, kind of an Anthrax, Metallica, Testament type feel. And then this one also is one that is forthcoming on vinyl, and it is a reissue of Exalts Under the Ruins. It's their second album. Now, they have an album. The first album was a cassette only. It got remastered and reissued on CD, what was it, maybe 2 years ago? And I hear there may be a vinyl reissue of that. That's probably still one of my favorite albums. Dark War. This is a great album. Their second one, the next album, the third was, I think I've got them in the right order. History is probably one of my all-time favorites. It's just great stuff. It's kind of tough. All 3 of them are great. I would say of all 3 of them, this is probably number 3. Just for some reason, the first and third were so much greater. And they did have a 4th album, totally different style. That whatever. I'm not sure what will happen with that. So yeah, this is coming out on vinyl. This came out, and of course I had to scoop up the combo because, of course, it has card number 20. So, as you can see, they're up into the 20s now, and I think I have like the 4 or 5 that I've got are all in under number 10. So There's a lot of gaps in there that I'm not sure I'll ever have. I did mention in yesterday's video about getting the ultimatum. That card will be coming, and I'm not sure exactly what number that is. But yeah, so that's it. Handful of CDs, great stuff, just great metal from yesteryear, and I'm looking forward to of course, I'm looking forward to when they come out in vinyl, but I'm looking forward now to having some, great remastered stuff. That's all for now, though. I rambled on long enough. Rock on and rock hard.